What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce and today is Tuesday, September 13th of 2022. This is another must-have pickups for this week's new comic book day, which is September 14th of 2022. And if you guys are watching this, you're probably thinking to yourself, Bruce, this video is a day late. And you're right, this video is a day late. This is normally my Monday video, but Monday came around and I had a whole stack of books I had not read yet. So you know what I did? I went ahead and used yesterday to read those books. So that way this video made a lot more sense. That was probably the best idea, right? Right. Okay guys, so in this video we're talking about the books that I think you guys have to be picking up. You must pick up because these are the best books to be reading on New Comic Book Day. They are the best storylines. The what's in the guts is like the guts that you need to be picking up and eating and enjoying. It's the best thing, and comic books are the best thing, and that's what this video is all about, me expressing my love and passion for these comics. But before we get into the must-have pickups, we gotta go over my pull list. I show you guys all the books that I'm picking up this week. Then we go over my cover lover picks. These books I want to show to you guys because I think the cover art is just freaking fantastic. And then we go over my almost top 5 picks. And then after that, that is when we go over my top 5 must-have pickups for this week's New Comic Book Day. And guys, there are some good ones this week. Woo! Cannot wait. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time. And let's go ahead and get into that pull list. So, for my pull list, which you will see right there, there are 18 books on this week's pull list. And from those 18 books, there are 3 new number ones, and there are also 4 books I have not get caught up on. I should say 4 series I have not get caught up on yet. So, that leaves a total of 14 books that could have made my top 5 list. So, what are those top 5 books? Well, we can't go over those just yet. Like I said in the beginning of this video, first we have to go over my 2, that's right, only 2 cover lover picks. Alright guys, it is time to dive into my 2 cover lover picks. Now I use League of Comic Geeks to see all the covers that are coming out every single week because they are a great resource. They do a great job of collecting all the books and all the covers that are coming out every single week. So if you guys want to do that yourselves, you guys can go ahead and do that right now. But I would suggest watching the rest of this video and also having a little bit of cold brew. Because cold brew is life. Alright guys, so the first cover that I want to show you guys is for Amazing Spider-Man issue number 9. Now this is the Patrick Gleason variant. Patrick Gleason is one of my favorite artists. When he was doing Batman and Robin and Batman, it was so good. Or was it Detective Comics? I can't remember. But guys, his stuff on Batman was amazing. And when he does Spider-Man, it is so amazing. And if you guys look at the description for issue number 9 on League of Comic Geeks, he is doing the interior. So issue number 9 might be freaking amazing because we're going to get Wolverine and Spider-Man together. I can't wait. And this cover looks freaking fantastic. And the other cover that I want to show you guys, I actually spoke about on my comic book speculation recommendations video, and it is for Daredevil number 3. It is the Cal New variant, and it is from Unknown Comics. It's an exclusive cover, and it is absolutely fantastic. The one thing when I first looked at it, I'm like, why is Daredevil looking at the ground? And then I'm like, oh, right, he's blind. He's probably listening with his ears. That's why he's looking at the ground, because he's like, hello, I can hear you. You know, it's just really cool. It's a gorgeous cover, and Cal New did an amazing job. There is a trade dress in a Virgin. If you guys will like it, I'll have a link down in the description. You guys can go ahead and pick yourself up one of these covers. Now, with those 2 covers out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the almost top 5. Alright guys, the first book on our almost top 5 is a really fun, really lighthearted comic that has a lot of heart. I am talking about Batgirls issue number 10. This features 3 amazing Batgirls, Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, and Barbara Gordon. It's a really fun book. Next up is Batman vs. Robin number 1. Now I came out and said I did not like Mark Waid's Batman Superman when it first came out, but over time it really built up to a really fun, really engaging story. Now this is a side story featuring the villain from that first run of Batman Superman, and it is now in this Batman vs. Robin. Now I'm super excited to see where this is gonna go because I really like the end of Mark Waid's run. Next up is I Am Batman issue number 13. If you guys are not reading this John Ridley series, I think you guys are missing out. Now, I am not absolutely in love with this series, but it is really fun. I think Jace Fox is doing a great job as Batman. There's some really interesting and fun things happening in this. There's a really cool villain, and then there's a lot of depth to the story that he's building, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys would like a different take on Batman, go ahead and check out I Am Batman, because it's a really fun series. Alright guys, we have done the pull list. We did our cover lover picks in the almost top 5. That means it's time for the top 5 must-have pickups coming out this week on New Comic Day, which, if you need a reminder, is tomorrow, which is September 14th of 2022. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright guys, the book that's in the number 5 spot is a new number 1. It's from Jeff Lemire and Andre Sorrentino, the creators of Gideon Falls and other books, and it is Bone Orchard's Mythos 10,000 Black Feathers number 1, and I cannot be more excited for this series. Now, the big reason why I am excited for this series is because I think Jeff Lemire is a fantastic writer. I think a lot of the stuff that he does is absolutely fantastic. Descender, Ascender, Family Tree, Sweet Tooth, and so many other series. Now, I will say not everything he does is a home run. I did not love Little Monsters. I think it's good, but it's not great. But so many of his series really are freaking fantastic. Now, with that said, let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this series. From the acclaimed creative team behind Gideon Falls, Primordial, and The Passageway comes a new series in the bold and ambitious shared horror universe of the Bone Orchard mythos. Trish and Jackie are best friends and avid gamers, but when the line between reality and their fantasy world is blurred by an evil darkness, can they be the heroes of their own story? 10,000 Black Feathers is the newest entry in the Bone Orchard mythos from Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. This universe will feature self-contained graphic novels and limited series about the horrors waiting to be discovered in the Bone Orchard. So there's going to be more than just this in this series, in this universe, and I'm just so excited for a cool horror universe. Let's do it! I love it! And I like Jeff Lemire so much. I think his writing is fantastic. And if you guys don't like Andrea Sorrentino, you're nuts. His artwork is freaking gorgeous. All right, that's the number 5 book. Let's go and dive in to the number 4. Alright guys, sitting in the number 4 spot is a new number 1 from Marvel Comics in Midnight Suns number 1. And the main thing that drew me to this book is that it's supposed to be a horror type based book with some really cool, amazing characters from the MCU. We're going to go over those in just a second, but I do want to say I have not read anything from the previous Midnight Suns. Those older books, I have not read them. I've only read books from like 2005 and on. So I haven't read that stuff. So that's not part of the reason why I'm into this book. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book because it's a new number 1. So let's go ahead and dive right in, right? Rise of the Midnight Suns. A dark prophecy in apocalyptic new villains with horrifying powers the likes of which Earth has never faced before ordains a team of Midnight Suns to rise and tear shit up. This team includes Magic, Wolverine, Blade, Spear Rider, and Nico Minoru. But what does this new threat have to do with the Sorcerer Supreme's past? And why is Strange Academy student Zoe Laveau number 1 on the Suns list? Come on, that team is epic. Wolverine, Blade, Magic, Spear Rider, Nico Minoru, and then we're gonna get a Strange Academy tie-in. Yes, please. Sign me up for that. Strange Academy is so good, and I hope this is good. Now, this is coming from the writer of Ethan Sacks, which I don't know a lot of him. I haven't read a lot of books by him. And also art by Luigi Zagaria. And again, I haven't seen a lot of his artwork. I went online, I checked it out. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. It's not JRJR, so you know what? I'm excited for this book. It's in the number 4 spot. It's like a horror book and then like a Marvel horror book. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, let's find out what my number 3 book is. Alright guys, the number 3 book is a book that surprised me. I wasn't ready to put this book on this list, but as I read every single issue, I'm getting more and more excited to see what's going to come out of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 9. This is written by Zeb Wells and art by Patrick Gleason. Not John Romita Jr., no. Supposedly this issue is going to be drawn by Patrick Gleason, so this is going to be such a great book. And supposedly we're supposed to get Wolverine in this? Yes, please. And what happened at the end of issue 8 was so good. So good. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. I don't want to spoil it. Let's just say Norman Osborn is connected to this somehow. What? Spidey, Norman, what is going on? So, Wolverine, Norman Osborn, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I don't know why it took me a minute to think of Peter Parker, but it did. So, I'm super excited for this. Are you guys reading the new run on Spider-Man? Are you guys enjoying it? Was it a slow build up to now? What is a good story for you as well? Guys, let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for JR to be gone and we're getting Patrick Gleason on this issue? Are you as excited as I am? Because I'm really excited for that. Alright guys, let's find out what my number 2 book is. Alright guys, sitting in the number 2 spot is an independent. It is a great book. It's from a great writer. Let's go ahead and talk about Dark Spaces Wildfires. Issue number 3 drops this week from Scott Snyder and art by Hayden Sherman. If you guys are not reading this book, you guys are missing out on a fantastic series. Gosh, this book is so good. Issue number 1 introduced us to a team of hotshots. If you don't know what hotshots are, they're a team of people who go and fight fires when there's big wildfires. But this team is a little special because this team is a team built out of convicts, and they have one police officer with them to watch over what they do, but they're all firefighters, and this is like their way to, like, you know, get out of jail and like do nice things for the community and probably have time off their service or, you know, off their time in jail. But there's a little twist at the end of the book. It's so good, and the police officer really cares for her team. This book is really good. It's got a lot of heart. I love Scott Snyder's writing. He's such a great writer. And guys, this is just a great series. And the twist at the end of issue number 2, and there's a twist in issue number 1 too. I don't know. This series is so good. Again, I spoiled some stuff in the last video and someone got a little upset, so I'm trying not to give you guys any spoilers, but I want to give you guys enough information to get you excited for this book, besides me just ranting and yelling and talking really fast and probably mumbling my words, which I always do, and I apologize. I'm trying my best to enunciate, so that way you guys can understand what I'm saying and get really excited for these books. But guys, this series really is really good. This is only issue number 3, so you can get caught up pretty easily, even though issue number 1 might be tricky to get because this book supposedly is already optioned. But if you can find it, pick it up. If you can't, go online, get the digital version, read it, and get issue number 2, and then read issue number 3, and you guys will thank me. You'll leave a comment down below saying, Bruce, thank you so much. This was such a good idea. And you're welcome. Alright guys, let's go ahead and dive into the number 1 book. Alright guys, the number 1 book that I am most excited coming out this week. I think this has been on the list in the number 1 spot every time it's come out. It's a really good book. It's from an amazing creator. One of my favorites. I am talking about Do a Powerbomb issue number 4, coming from Daniel Warren Johnson. He is doing the writing. He is doing the artwork. He has someone else doing the coloring. But guys, this book is so good. It has so much heart. It has so much heart. So, to give you guys a brief synopsis of issue number 1, you know, which is months ago. If you haven't read it up to this point, I want to give you guys a little intrigue into this book. There's this woman who's a wrestler. She's like the best in the world, and something terrible happens to her, and she has a husband, she has a daughter, and they're left behind. And then at the end of the issue, we see she's a little older, and she gets approached by a necromancer. And this necromancer brings the daughter to his world, and it's like, you know what, if you fight in my wrestling tournament and you win, you can bring her back. And that's pretty much the synopsis of issue number 1. And then there's so many twists and turns in issue number 2 and issue number 3. It's so good. And I gotta tell you guys, Daniel Warren Johnson does some of the best action artwork out there. It's so good, and his storytelling is fantastic. Like I said, there's so much heart in this book. You can feel for the characters in this book. In issue number 3, there's some heart-wrenching stuff at the end of it, or towards the end of issue number 3. It was so good. Oh, I can see how this is going to build and get better and better. And it's wrestling. I don't love wrestling. I didn't watch wrestling when I was a kid, but I love this. I love this so much. It's so good. It's also like, you know, crazy outworld stuff. You got people from other planets coming in to fight in this crazy wrestling tournament. So good. Check this out. You guys will not be disappointed. I promise you. There's some great covers for this. It's just all around a fantastic book. Guys, let me know down in the comments if you guys are loving Do a Powerbomb as much as me, because I have a feeling a lot of you are. Alright guys, that is the end of this list. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Alright guys, it's the end of the video. I'm a little tired, so let's go ahead and hit a little cold brew. It's so much better with cold brew. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. If you guys made it this far, you guys know what you are. Let me hear you say it. You guys are legends! Thank you guys so much for supporting Stephanie and I in these videos. Now, Stephanie and I are, again, percolating in the background. We got ideas. We just got to find time to record some videos with Stephanie. Hopefully in one weekend coming up, we can do it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different from the normal comic book content, which I know some of you guys will really enjoy. And some of you guys are like, Bruce, what does this have to do with comic books? It's just going to be a really fun video with Stephanie back in the mix. So get excited for that. Also, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, guys, get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Next, before we get into the next thing, let's go ahead and say, guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your top 5 comics coming out this week are. Are there any cover lover picks that I missed that you guys absolutely love and you guys cannot wait to get up? Also, just tell me how big your pull list is. Is it 18? Is it 2? Is it 1? Guys, let me know down in the comments. I love interacting with you guys. I will say sometimes it does take me a little while to get back to you guys, but I always try to get to the comments at some point. It might take me a week, but I will try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. And last but not least, guys, if you guys would like to help support Stephanie and I just a wee bit more, you guys can become a channel member for just $4.99 a month. And that gets you an entry into an end of the month giveaway, which one lucky channel member will win a mystery box filled with at least $50 worth of comics. It's usually at least 15 books. Sometimes I throw other stuff in there. But guys, that is my thank you to you guys for supporting us. And you guys can win multiple months in a row. And all you need to do is become a channel member. And that is it. Cold brew is life. Comics is life. This channel loves you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.